Hi there, it's David Young, the Resourceful Coach, and what we're going to talk a little bit about today is what I call percentage golf, and we're going to look at that single figure golfer and what you need to do. And it was always one of those things, when I look back at the data that I've developed and how I play a game of golf, it's making sure I'm choosing the right shot at the right time and know for my level what is a good shot. Now, we're always going to look at it and say to you, look, play the best possible shot you can play, but realize, and this the whole idea is to take pressure off you, that if you don't achieve that ultimate result, has your shot fallen in line with where you need to be? And this is really important because, as I said, it takes the stress out of your game, takes the pressure out of your game, and you're going to have a lot more fun on the golf course. Now, if we look at a single figure golfer, what's the goal? Well, we want to shoot, as I said, 8-9 over par. We could go par bogey, par bogey, par bogey the whole way round. We do that, we're playing to 9 over par. We're doing what we want to do. And what we're going to look at today, we're going to play 4 different scenarios going into the greens. We're going to involve my data and show you what's a good shot for your level. To be a single figure golfer, somebody shooting, maybe just breaking 80, around that number, what's a good shot? Okay, and realize that if you end up there, that's okay. And then when we get to that shot, what we need to achieve from there. So we're just going to go through these as we go through. Now, we're going to look at, as I said, 4 different shots today. We're going to start with a 200-yard par 3. Now, with my data, what I found is that once you really, as a single figure golfer, get outside of about 170 yards, you're not expecting to hit that green. So take the pressure off. If you do, fantastic. That's a massive bonus. We're playing a 200-yard hole here, the 11th hole at Corinthians, 200-yard par 3, and we're going to use what I call the 90% rule as we go round. Now, once you're outside 170 yards, that 90% rule, so we're on a 200-yard hole, the 90% rule is 90%, well, let's go the other way. 10% of 200 is 20. So I'm going to cover 90% of the hole, but what I'm going to have left is 20 yards, and it's 20 yards short of the green. As long as I'm within 20 yards of the green, not the hole, I'm okay. If I was 170 yards, as long as I'm within 17 yards of the green, I'm doing what I'm meant to do. Once we get inside 170 yards, we'll start more reflecting on the flag. And that's what we're going to do later on in the video. So we're going to play this hole, okay? We're looking at it, 200-yard hole, flag's cut on the right-hand side. I've measured it out, so it is exactly 200 to the flag where I'm actually positioning this on the tee. And the sensible play, yeah, I could go straight that flag, but if I miss it right, I'm in the trees. So the sensible play really is left side of the green. And as I said, as a single figure golfer, somebody shooting around about 80, if I hit that green, that's amazing. If you hit the green from here, you are playing as good as a 2-handicap golfer. That's what you've got to understand. If you get this ball inside 30 feet, you're a tour player. If you were sitting beside the green at an Open Championship and Rory McIlroy knocked it to 15 feet from 200 yards, you'd be giving him a round of applause. You'd be going, well done, fantastic shot. Don't expect to do it yourself. You're not Rory McIlroy. We can be 20 yards off the green. Okay, now I'm still going to look to put it on the green. I'm not going to deliberately leave it 20 yards to the left. I'm going to look to play my shot, but I'm happy in my mind because I'm playing my 90% rule. As long as I get it 90% down the hole, leave myself 10%, I'm doing the job. So I'm aiming left side of the green. Let's make a good swing. Let's see what we get. Yeah, so that's going probably just drifted on the breeze towards the middle of the green. And I'd say I'm probably 10 yards short of the green. So I was happy with the shot. I'm inside the mental area, that 10 yards short of the green. We're going to have a look, we'll measure it out properly when we get there. But I wanted to be within 20 yards of the green. I've achieved that. So I should be walking down this hole very happy. Yes, I haven't put it on the green, but I'm definitely in my area, and if I do what I'm meant to do from there, there's a pretty good chance now I'm going to at worst make my bogey, but a pretty good chance I might still get out of here with my par. But let's go down, have a look at it, and then we're going to use this 90% rule from now into the hole. So again, we're keeping our mind in a really calm state so we perform better. That's what we're looking for. So here's where we've ended up. As I said, we're just short of the green. You can see the line they put around our course to make sure the trolleys are go in the right place and we don't get too muddy near the greens. We wanted to be within around about 20 paces or so from the green. Let's pace it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're 9 paces off the green. So we're slightly ahead of the game, which is really good, okay? But now we're going to look at the next shot. Now we're going to start to think our 90% rule. I'm going to take a measurement. I wouldn't normally do this in a game. I just naturally, instinctively, but we're giving you the data. And I have 26 yards to the flag. Okay, that's what I physically got. Now let's convert that more into feet. So we're looking around about 78 feet. So we're going to think of it more. It's probably easier to think about the 10% rule. We want to get within 10% of that. So we said 78 feet. We now want to be around about 7.5, 8 feet from the hole. That would be our shot. So we're looking around about flag stick length, maybe just a little bit more than a flag stick length. We're still playing the shot to play the best possible shot, and always remind yourself of that. You're always saying to yourself, look, what's the best possible shot? Well, have you ever chipped one in from here? If you have, do it again. That's what you got to mentally think. But if the result ends up really anywhere between 5 and 10 feet, you're going to be happy. You're doing what you need to do as a single figure golfer. So I've got my gap wedge here, 52 degree. I'm just going to pop it onto the green, let it run down. This is the only green at Corinthians. Actually, the green runs away from you, so it's not sort of sitting towards you. So I know it's going to run down the green. It's an okay lie for winter. So I'm just going to pop it forward. I go narrower stance. We'll do a little bit of technique, narrower stance to feel like I've got better control. I grip a little bit down the club for that control. I'm going to pop it onto the edge of the green, at least 2 steps on, another one of my rules, and then see what we get. That's running down quite nicely. Now the goal was to hole it, if we can. The end result, we'd like to be within 7, 8 feet. Played that really nicely. We're probably only about 2.5 feet away from the hole. Okay, so we'll go and finish that off, okay? And then we're going to create some more scenarios. But again, straight away, what it's done for me so far, it's taken the pressure off. And that's the important thing. But let's go knock the putt in, and then we're going to create, we'll make it a little bit trickier the next shot, but we're going to do a 150-yard shot over water and see how the brain deals with that. But understand what you need to achieve. But let's go and finish that putt first. Okay, so we've come down to it. We're just going to finish it off. Very quick video here to finish this off. Actually ended up a bit better, only about 1 foot away. So really happy with that. As I said, let's go and play a 150-yard shot. We got our 3 because I played it stress-free. So here's our second shot. We're looking at a 150-yard shot into the green. And as I said, what we're looking at now, our 90% rule. So we want to get rid of 90% of the hole. So again, just to make it simpler, what's 10% of 150? Well, that's 15 yards times 3 is 45 feet. So this is a shot anywhere on that green is a great result. As a single figure golfer, you can hit the green from 150 yards, you are doing everything you should be doing. You don't need to be sticking it again 10 feet from the hole. You're going to hear me say this a lot. So 45 feet is our number. Okay, we're out here, it's a January day, it's quite a cold day. I'm going to take a 7-iron because again, the ego doesn't take over. I'm going to make sure I've got enough club to get there. But 45 feet is good. Ultimately, what's the best 7-iron I've hit? Well, I've been lucky enough to hole a 7-iron before, so I'm going to think of playing that best possible shot, but I'm happy anywhere, 45, 55, even 60 feet, anywhere around that green, I'll take it. This is a shot that on average, I'm going to get down in 3 as a single figure golfer, around about, let's get my brain work in here, is around about 70% of the time I will get this down in 3, 30% of the time I'm going to take 4. So as soon as we get outside 20 feet, every 10 feet you're getting further away, you're increasing the chance. By about 10%, you're going to 3-putt it. So we get around that 45, 50 foot number. We're looking then, we're going to generally be around about, as I said, 25% of the time you may 3-putt this. Okay, that's okay, because that's the level we're playing at. We're not a scratch golfer. That's the key thing. So 45 feet's the number, but we're always looking at the best possible shot. Let's see if we can send it down there, around that hole. Let's give it a go. Slightly ball above my feet, so it should draw, but also slight downhill lie. So I want to feel a little bit of weight on my left side and definitely finish on my left side. Well, I don't think I can strike a 7-iron any better. Let's see what we get. Yep, we're nicely in the middle of the green, probably somewhere around about 25 feet away. We'll go down, have a look. Okay, I'm going to turn the camera off, but while I do walk down, I'm going to replace that divot before we go and have a look at the putt we've left ourselves. So as we said from the fairway, hit a really nice shot, and we're going to pace it out, see what we've got. And what's interesting, we'll come to something in a minute. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 paces. So we're looking around about 30 feet. Okay, this is my pitch mark. Shows how well I hit that. It's admittedly quite a steep slope, so it has come back down the green. So I've ended up 30 foot from the hole. And remember what our goal was, 45 feet. So all I've done is increase that chance that I'm going to two putt this. I've probably gone from about, as I said, 25% chance of three putting to now only about a 10% chance. So that's good. But again, 30 feet, let's use our rule. We're going to get this within 90% of the hole. So within that 10% distance, we're now looking around about 3 feet is a par shot. So if I can get it inside a putter's length from here, I'm doing my job. And then on average, I should hold 9 out of 10 from 3 feet. So that's the goal. But the goal always, still look to put it in the hole, but we're training that brain to deal with the imperfections. That's what we're looking for. So a little bit of a slope there. You saw how my ball came back down the slope. Solid putt up the hill. Well, let's check it out. I reckon I am that 3 feet away. So there's my putter, literally bang on the ball. So that was actually a par shot. That was about what I should do as a single figure golfer. Now the job is, as I said, 9 times out of 10 I'd hole this. Let's finish it off, get my par. Job done. So, or as I should say, we haven't played the hole. We've done what we're meant to do from that position. So it's really important to understand. So if I look at that, yes, the shot from 150 yards was slightly better than what I would do as a single figure golfer, probably getting closer to about a 5 handicap golfer, but the putt was about a 9 handicap golfer's shot, and then I finished it off. So I've achieved what I want to do as we go through. All right, we're now going to go and play a 100-yard shot into the green and see how that works out. So I hope you're enjoying the video. If you are, please subscribe to the channel, share this video with your friends, and if you do subscribe, press that little bell for notifications. All the help you can give me, more subscribers, more views, allows me to make the videos even better, and your enjoyment's going to be increased. So here's our next shot, 100 yards going into the green. Let's use our rule, 90%. I want to get rid of 90% of the shot. So what's 10% of our distance? 100 yards, 10% of 100 is 10. So we're looking at 30 feet. That's the distance we're looking for here. So again, a shot, I'm going on different holes today. We're playing down the 5th hole here, down into the valley. Flag's cut at the front. Again, very easy to try and be cute here, land it short, but now I know I've got my 30-foot area. If I can get it within 30 feet, I'm doing what I'm meant to do. What I'm erasing here is the big errors. I'm getting rid of those chances. So we've just got a standard pitching wedge, 100 yards. I'm going to play to land it. Mentally, I'm going to look to land it around where the flag is, because I think if I land it short of the green, it could kick anywhere. So that's the mental picture. I'm on a very slight downhill lie. So 2 things to take into consideration here. I need to get my weight on the left side because I want to hit the ball and then brush the grass. So I say to my golfers, feel like you're brushing the grass past your left foot when you're hitting off a downhill lie. Keep that momentum going down. It's going to make my club a little bit more powerful because I'm hitting down the slope. It's going to take a little bit of loft off because the slope being about 6-7 degrees, it's going to make it a little bit less loft in the look of the flight. But I'm keeping the loft consistent to the slope. I don't want to suddenly add loft. If you're not happy to hit a wedge and you want more loft, go to a gap wedge. That's the thing to do. But they're my 2 things I'm looking at. But I want to make sure I'm on there. I don't mind, as I said, 30 feet's good. I can work with that. So weight on my left side, ball pretty central, weight left side, and I want to finish on my left side. So that's nicely on line. Land on the green, please. Okay, well, I thought I'd hit that well, and maybe take into account that little bit downhill. It's a little bit blustery today, but I haven't made the green. Okay, so I'm not on the green, but remember what our number was. I should have hit the green, that was the goal, or I could have hit the green. Should is a bad word. I could have hit the green, I didn't, but let's go and find out how close we are. I still reckon I'm probably inside 30 feet, but I may not be able to get the putter on it. So this is a little bit of a mental error. I should have got this ball a little bit further. But that's what we're out here to find out. I'm not playing every shot perfectly. Let's go down, see what we've got, and then we're going to reassess it and work out what my 90% rule is from the new shot. So as we said, the goal was to get this ball onto the green, 30 feet away, and we've hit well, I thought it was a good shot. It just hasn't flown for some reason, maybe a gust of wind or something, or maybe I just didn't hit it hard enough. Hasn't reached the ground, only a pace or so off. Let's see where we are. 30 feet would be for me around about 12 paces. So what have we done? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 paces. So we're actually inside the area. The only problem is I'm sitting around about a pace and a half off the green. Fluffy grass, as we said, January day. It's a bit inconsistent, but let's reassess where we are. It's still an okay shot. It wasn't bad. I shouldn't be beating myself up about it. Shouldn't be, oh, I should be on the green and having a go. It's one of those things, now you just got to deal with the next shot. So the challenge is we're 9 paces or so away from the hole, so 9 yards, let's say, as a figure. Okay, now how close do we want to get it? Well, now we're looking at round about, can we get this about 2.5 feet away? So if we can get it sort of putter's length but lose the grip, then we're doing what we're meant to do. And like we said on the previous hole, we were looking at a situation, we got it within a putter's length, we would hold 90%. So it's still a pretty good chance. From that position, 30 feet, we're going to still get down in 3 from this position. But let's see what we can do. Okay, anything inside 2.5 feet, 3 feet is doing what we're meant to do. It's going to break a little bit left to right. And it's just gauging that distance through this little bit of fluffy grass. But make a decision, commit to it. Come out, keep going, keep going. Oh, just got caught in that fluffy grass. So you can see, haven't quite done it. So this is a hole, this is quite good what's happening here, where I'd see golfers start to get really down on it, and then 9 times out of 10 they've missed this putt. Okay, there's still, what are we looking at? There's my 3 feet. We're looking at still an 85% chance at my level as a single figure golfer I should hold this. Okay, so I should still be in a good state of mind. I shouldn't be thinking this is a bad thing. So left lip, knock it in. If we've done that from 100 yards, should be a 95% time as a single figure I'll get down in 3. And that's exactly what we've done. So the first 2 shots might not have been perfect, but I was still probably within, if we look at it, a foot or so where I should have been after 2 shots. But it's very easy, if those shots don't feel great, that you start to get down on yourself, okay? But if you're within, let's say even 10% of where we're saying we should be, you're okay. Okay? My distance was actually less than where I should have been after the first shot, and then slightly worse after the second. But we still got out there in 3 shots. So you can see how it's calming my mind down. I'm not beating myself up. All right, we're going to do one final shot. We're going to do a 50-yard shot into the green. We're going to go and do that over on the 6. So again, you're seeing 4 different holes today here at Corinthians Golf Club. So here's our final shot. It's a 50-yard pitch. We're playing into the 6th green here at Corinthians. Got a nice pond on the side. Really nice hole this. Plays really tough, I think, in the winter. I mean, a lot of the members get frustrated they're not making many pars on this hole. It's a 410-yard hole. You don't get the shoot on the drive, so you tend to have a much longer second shot in. So this is quite a common third shot I see people have. Even single figure golfers playing into this green. So let's use our rule. 50 yards, we want to get within 5 yards, okay? That's got rid of 90% of the shot, 45 yards of what we're doing. 5 yards is 15 feet. That's our goal. Again, we're looking at 2 things. Number 1, what's the best shot I can play? Now, we've got very little green to work with. This would probably be a shot, if the flag was a bit further on, I'd probably just take a gap wedge and land it on the front and let it roll out. But I've got very little green to work with. So I'm going to use one of my rules on my pitching videos, which is 2-step rule, always look to land it on the green. Not a club I would play. This is probably about the maximum distance I hit this club. I'm playing my lob wedge here, okay, because I want to land it on the green. Ultimately, what's the best lob wedge I've hit? Think of that. Secondly, 15 feet's okay. All right, this is a shot on average. As a single figure golfer, you are going to get in the hole 90% of the time. You're going to get down in 3. There's a small percentage, probably about 8-9%, I would say, you're going to get down in 2. So it's the first shot we've played where you probably are going to, on average, get the odd one down in 2. That's what we're looking to achieve. I believe this is the best chance to do that because I'm going to land it on the green. I don't like to land it short in the winter. I want to land it on the green. So that's the idea. Now, the lie, again, slight downhill lie. Get a lot of these round Corinthians. Weight on the left side. Let's be a little bit more positive than the one on the last. There's a little bit of wind there going across, so let's take them into account. and just keep the weight on the left side. 15 feet would be good. Yep, happy with that. Landed on the green. I would say we're probably bang on that number. Okay, let's grab that divot. Always two things. Look after your golf course. Replace those divots, rake those bunkers, and definitely when I get up there, repair that pitch mark. Okay, greenkeepers, I'm saying this to help you out because I see it a lot nowadays. People are definitely not doing their divots. Okay, look after the golf course. There's nothing worse than ending up in an old divot. Repair it. Chances are they won't be there. The course is going to be in great condition. Okay, let's go see where that finished. So we talked about repairing pitch marks and divots. Let's go and look at my pitch marks, see if we can find that, and then we'll tell you where we've ended up. So that's where I've landed here. And again, just my two-step rule. I've landed a bit further onto the green, but that's okay because the 2 steps really is the minimum. Okay, let's pace it out. 6 paces would be 15 feet. 2, 3, 4, 5 and a bit. So we're probably around about 13 feet. So pretty much bang on the number. What does the data tell us that we're going to hold this putt? On average, probably only about 1 in 10, maybe at best 15%. So we've done what we're meant to do from that shot. Get anything on your line this time of year, again, you can get lots of little twigs and stuff. Just move them off your line, give yourself a chance. So 15 feet, we're looking now, or 13 feet, we're looking to get this within 1.5 foot. If we do that, we've done what we're meant to do. We're back to our 90% rule. Get rid of 90% of the distance. That's the goal, within 10%. And this is always when you're inside 150 yards. Like we said at the very beginning, 200 yards, get it within 10% of the green. Even you can take that all the way to 170 yards. So that's important. Get it within 15 yards or so of the green. You're doing great. Now, goal, always want to hold it. But what I don't want to do is get too excited or anything there and rush it 5 feet past. Just roll it up. If we end up within 1 foot or so, we've done the job. If it drops in, that's a bonus. So rolling up, yep, 6 inches away. So from our 50 yards, as I said, there's a 90% chance I'm going to get down in 3, and that's exactly what we've done. So hopefully, looking at those 4 shots, we've used this rule, okay? It's the 90% play percentage golf. As a single figure golfer, that's what you need to do. Now, if you are somebody watching this and you are a higher handicap, let's say you want to break 90, just double it. And what I mean by that now, you go from 90% to 80%, which is roughly 20% away from the hole. So when we had 50 yards, we're saying get it within 5 yards, now double it to 10 yards. If you do that 30 feet away from 50 yards, you're doing the job. Okay, so just look at the numbers we've given you and just basically double those distances we've ended up away from the hole. If you do that, the chances are you're now going to break 90. I hope you've enjoyed that video. For me, it's really getting that mind in the right place, understanding, always looking to play the best possible shot, but if you don't, realize what's okay. Okay, for a single figure golfer, once you're inside 150 yards, just look at that number and think, right, if I'm now only, when I finish this shot, I've got rid of 90% of the shot, I'm within 10%, I'm doing the job. 100 yards, I'm now within 10 yards of the hole, 30 feet, brilliant. If you're doing that, you are going to start playing single figure golf, and because you'll relax, the chances are you'll probably start knocking some balls closer than that. But also, if you don't knock it closer, it takes the pressure off, so you don't stress yourself out and mess up the next shot. So every time you go to the shot, say, that's okay. That's okay. And if you do it, it's amazing the results you'll start getting. Thanks for watching. I look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you.